So today, I want to tell you the amazing story of how I met and got engaged to the man of my dreams in 1 year. So this is how it all started. Towards the ending of 2020, my elder sister was getting married. And I don't know if this happens to you, but whenever people around you want to get married, they somehow want other people around them to get married. So my sister was on a roll. She was on a road to finding a man for everybody. So that fateful day, she just asked me, it was really close to our wedding, and she was like, "Oh, Fum, I know you're single right now. So I have like four guys I want to introduce you to, not at once, but one by one. I believe that when I introduce them to you, you'd at least find one that you like, and you guys may even get married." And I was like, you've come again. Please leave me alone. And she was like, no, I'm really serious. Just give it a chance. Come, just be open. Because she has this thing that she doesn't believe I'm open. She feels like I'm rigid or something like that because I'm just like stuck in my ways sometimes of my idea of how somebody is meant to meet the man of their dreams. So I was just like, Enki, please just leave me alone. I'm not interested. And she was like, just give it a chance. And you don't even have to make it a big deal. In fact, just try and be friends with them. The highest thing that will happen is that it won't work out. But even if it doesn't work out, that person can end up being your friend. The person can end up being your business partner or somebody that you marry their brother. Do you get? So I was like, okay, if you put it that way, then no problem. So we just had that discussion in December and we didn't talk about it again. Mind you, she got married, so everything was busy and we just didn't get around to doing it. So fast forward to January, I resumed law school, right? So law school was meant to resume on a Monday, like I think January 30th of 2021. And I was currently in my second sister's house a day before that, so 29th of January 2021. So I was just there. And then randomly, my sister calls me in the morning around like 9 a.m. And she was like, "Fool, remember that conversation we had? Mind you, my native name is from Naya. So yeah." So she was like, "Fool, remember that conversation we had, last month?" I was like, "Which one?" And she was like, "Oh, the one when I told you I was going to introduce you to different guys so that you can find your husband from there." I was like, thank you, you've come again. So like, anyway, I've called the guy, Sha. So he's going to call you in like 5 minutes. Please be nice. And then she puts the phone off. I was like, oh, God. So the guy called me. The guy's name was Mr. Phil. Spoiler alert, that's my husband. In hindsight, with us discussing, he was like, my sister called him. I was like, Phil, how far? Are you single? And he was like, yeah. He was like, okay. She was like, okay. So I have my sister available. She's amazing and I think you guys would work. So I think you should call her and give her a chance so that you will end up dating. Just like that. But that's NK for you. She's spontaneous and she's radical. So he was like, okay, he himself was open minded. And mind you, he was looking to get married, but I was just being open minded about it. He didn't know if it would work or not, but he was like, okay, let me just call. What's the big deal? So he calls me and we have a pleasant conversation. It's not the kind of conversation where you're like, oh my God, I found the man of my dreams. No, it was just a cool, nice conversation. There was nothing he said in that call to make me feel like, oh, I found my husband. However, there was nothing in that call to make me feel like, this guy is disgusting or this guy is bad. Did you get? So it was just cool. And so towards the end of the conversation, he was like, do you mind if I send you some of my pictures so you see how I look like? And do you mind if you send yours? So I was like, okay, no problem. I'll send my, but better still, call me on video call. Let's not do, because, in this internet age, anybody can edit their pictures, right? So I didn't want to, let's just be straightforward. Let's make sure that we are each other's spec physically. And that was that. So he called on WhatsApp, sent his pictures. I was like, okay, not bad, not bad. This is, we can work around this. So that's what I said, and it was cool. From that day onward, I would say that we talked every other day. The truth is that we could have talked every day. But from that January 29th, I had like 2 months to write my bar finals. And if you know anything about writing law school bar finals, it's something that you hopefully want to do once and just get it over and done with. So I didn't want to take chances. I didn't want any man to distract me. I just wanted to focus on my game. And around that time, guys, I had so many people that were on my case, so many people trying to date me, so many people, like, it was just like the devil was just sending distractions, honestly. But the reason why I kept entertaining to a degree or every other person plus my husband was because my sister had also advised me that whenever I like somebody, I should not just throw away every other person that has been trying to date me, because it will make me overly like almost like desperate, like overly conscious of him doing the right thing so that we can actually date. But she was like, just keep talking to everybody, just be nice to everybody, be friends with everybody, and the person you're meant to date and eventually get married will stick out to you. Do you get? So I applied that. The fact that my husband was cool didn't make me say, oh, this guy that has been checking me for the past 3 months, I'm just going to throw him away. No, I actually just kept an open mind. But my husband kept standing out to me. He kept being highlighted. Now in hindsight, I realized that he kept being highlighted by God to me, because there was just something about him that was just right. He applied the right amount of pressure, if I would put it that way. So what do I mean by that? He would call, and sometimes I'll be in the reading room, and I'll just be like, "Oh God, this is the wrong time." So I'll just speak and say, "Hey, do you mind calling me later? It's really wrong timing right now because I'm reading." And he'll be like, "Okay, okay, cool, I will. What time can I call back?" I'll be like, "Okay, in an hour, 30 minutes." And it really works because I'm really planned. So if I go to like read for 2 hours, I'm actually going to read for 2 hours. And after 2 hours, I just shut down. So he would call exactly after, the amount of time I gave him. And it was just cool. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm busy. Sometimes you send a message, hey, I wanted to call, but I don't know if you're reading right now. Please give me a call when you're done. It was the right amount of pressure. Some other things that stood out to me was that, in as much as we weren't talking every day. I won't say we were super close, but he made me his vows on Valentine's Day. That's how I knew that this guy was also single. So it was cool. He sent me some cash. I was like, oh, buy ice cream, and stuff like that. So that was really cool. Also, on my birthday, yes, he also sent something for my birthday. So that was really nice. I'm like, so those were the things that made me feel like, okay, this guy is interested romantically, because no friend that is not like your friend of like 10 years, that's a guy, would send you something. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was like my experience. At the same time, we just spoke like friends. Honestly, we were just getting to know each other. We would ask questions and stuff. Another thing that made me really like him was the fact that our values were aligned. We liked the same thing at the core of ourselves. Like, we're different, too, totally different, different temperaments and all. But the core of our values is exactly the same. We had the same opinions about strong issues. So it made me know that, okay, this is my person. I really liked him. I liked his vibe. I just liked him. Like, I just liked him as a human being. And so I knew that even though we end up not dating, I like this person. This is a good human being, right? So that was that. So we continued talking, and then towards the end of my bar finals, which was I think March 26th, he was like, "She know that when you're done with your bar finals, we're going to be speaking every day." I was like, okay, oh, no problem. She's you that we calling. I know Allah, that's fine. And then I remember the day I finished my bar finals. Guys, from that March 26th till now, there's no day that has passed that we haven't spoken. We would call, we would talk to each other on video call, morning, afternoon, night. So let me now give you the tea on how I realized that I love my husband. Remember I told you that we started talking every day. And so sometime in April, I realized that, oh, I think I'm really getting to like this guy like a lot. So let me just tell him my standard, because I know he knows I'm a Christian, but he needs to know like every single thing I won't do. And so I laid out my standards to him, like, hey, I'm just putting this out there. These are my standards. Like, if we ever date, I'm not going to do all these things. And I don't feel like sharing every single thing I said, but one particular thing I said that I can share is that, oh, I don't really believe in like living with the person I'm gonna end up with. Do you get? Because I just feel like that's just an avenue for see finish, for wasting my time, and for a lot of sinful things to happen. So I just put it out there, and I had like different things that I felt like were my standard and I wasn't gonna do. So I said that, and he was like, "Oh, cool. I like a girl that has a standard, and stuff like that." But later that night, he now sent me a message that, oh, he has thought about the things I said, and to be honest, he's not going to be able to keep up with all of them. But I like it's still cool. You can still be friends. Like, you don't always have to end up dating somebody you like. You can just be cool. Guys, I was so heartbroken. I was so heartbroken, and I didn't expect it. Like, I knew I liked the guy, and I knew that we were getting to a point where we would date, but I was just like, God, why is it hurting so much? Like, I really like this guy, and I was really pained. I was really hurt. But I was just like, okay, you know what, it's fine. At least with the end of dating, this is not another heartbreak or something like that. But it felt like a heartbreak. I even remember telling my sister, like, oh my God, this is what he said. And she was like, leave him, it's not worth it. Someone that is worth it would keep up to your standards. So just be cool, you're fine. Consider other people. That's what she said. So the very next day, I actually had an interview for the place that I eventually worked in my NYSC. So that morning he called, he was like, hey, are you ready for your interview? I was like, yeah. In my head, I'm like, why is this one calling me? I like, day or day, let me day by day, let me heal from whatever hurt I'm feeling right now. So he was like, okay, I just want to say good luck and stuff like that. So fast forward to around like 3 p.m. of that day, he calls and he's like, hey, what's up now? How is it? I was like, why is this guy trying? Like, why are you still calling me? I thought it was over because in my head it was over. Yes, I know that we were friends, but because I liked him, I didn't know how we could continue being friends immediately. I needed like time to like heal my wounds, however I was feeling since I felt rejection at that point. And he was like, hey, just calm down. Like, I've really had time to think about all the things you said. Please, can you see the message I sent on your WhatsApp? So I went to my WhatsApp and he was like, oh, you're worth it. You're so worth it. Every single standard you said that, you like to keep in your relationship is worth it. And I'm equal to the task. So I was like, before uncle, you'd have missed a good thing like me. Anyway, so that was cool. And we just carried on. I thought I was going to form. I thought I was just going to be cool, giving him the cold shoulders. But to be honest, I really liked him. He really liked me. But what happened after that April is that a shift happened. Now, before that April fight or whatever we can call it, we were friends. I knew that he was romantically involved. I knew I kind of liked him, but I didn't know the extent. After that April event, I was sure that I loved him. He was sure that he really liked me. Like, if you would not hear our conversations, you know that these two people are either dating or they really like each other. You get so there was a serious shift. So I'm really glad that that happened because it turned the relationship to something that was certain. In fact, I dare say that at that point, the both of us knew that we were going to get married. Now, even though there was a shift, we were trying not to be juvenile. We had not met each other at this point, and we felt like we could not just say, oh, we are dating without seeing each other. We wanted to make sure that whatever we are feeling translates to the physical. And so it was like an unspoken agreement. He didn't ask me out. I didn't ask him, oh, when are you asking me out and stuff like that. Now, guys, the next thing that happened was that in May I got posted, but I got posted to Jos. At that point, my husband was in Akwa Ibom. I think I had gone back home. I was in Delta. I was like, this is going to make this harder. Like, to be very honest, the main reason why I didn't go to Jos was because I had already gotten a job in Lagos, and like all I needed to sort out was my posting, right? And I wasn't going to go there for 3 weeks and see how they would like post me back to Lagos. I just wanted to get Lagos once and for all. But an underlying reason why I didn't go to Jos was because I wanted to give my husband and I a chance to work. And we already made plans for him to come and see me. And I knew that if I just go to Jos, things will not work out the way I had planned. So I didn't go to Jones. I actually turned it down and started seeing how I could, apply again and get to Lagos. So fast forward to June, I think June 9th it came. And guys, it was amazing. Like it was just like we had always known each other. It was easy, it was smooth. And my husband was just being so romantic, like was trying to hold my hand in mom, hold my shoulder. I'm like, bruh, calm down. You haven't asked me out. Can you do that? Anyway, so I told him that actually. I was like, I hope you know we are not dating. You haven't said, will you be my girlfriend? I haven't said yes. And I said that because I've had enough experiences to know that some guys will just keep acting as if they are dating you. And it will now turn out that they will not say, oh, I never asked you out to. So I wanted him to clearly say, the traditional girl in me wanted him to clearly say, would you be my girlfriend? And I'll say yes, so that to be on record and so that we'll have an actual date that was like our dating anniversary. Okay, guys, so we started dating. It was really amazing. We're actually long distance, guys. Fun fact, before me and my husband actually got engaged, I don't think we saw more than, let's say, 5 times. Maybe we saw 5 times in total. But we're always on video call, we're always talking. So let's just say this is my first installment of the series I'm starting a long distance relationship. You want to stay tuned for that if you're considering one, if you're currently in one, so I can tell you what worked for me and how it turned out to be amazing for me. So we did that, and guys, we started dating in June, right? In October, his parents had already met my parents for introduction. Mind you, we're not engaged though. Like we're not engaged at all. We're just like dating. We had already done introduction. In December, we were already engaged in 1 year. From in fact less than 1 year. From January 29th to December 27th, we were already engaged. Like it was really just a sped up, easy process. I told you so because it's interesting gist. I'm sure you'll say so yourself. But I also told you so because I need you guys to learn a thing or two. Now, what's the lesson I want you to take away from this video? The first lesson I want you to take away from this video is that you need to be open minded. Never in my life would I have guessed this was the way I was going to meet my husband. And some people limit themselves and limit God and say, oh, it can never be. It can never be a friend that I've known all my life. It can never be that co-worker. It can never be somebody I met in the mall. You know, you need to be open-minded because God can answer your prayer through any means. Now, this second lesson, I don't know if my husband is pro this lesson, but I really believe that because my husband took his time to get to know me, we actually had like a 5 month stalking phase before we actually made it official and started dating. Like, if I had initially, when we were not so serious, like just said, oh, I'm cutting off anybody, I like this guy, I'm just going to rain in on him, I would have choked him. I would have made him like try to like low key subconsciously manipulate him into dating me earlier. But I was just cool. I kept on being friends with everybody. Like I kept on talking to everybody. I was just open minded. I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I still gave up my number, at the beginning phase, let's say pre-April. To give up my number, I was still cool. Because I just felt like if I zero in on this guy, I'm gonna choke him with love. And it had happened to me before. I'm a one guy kind of woman. When I really like you, to be honest, I don't need others. Like I just need one person, and that's how I am when it comes to even friendships. Once I have one friend in a setting, I don't even make efforts to have another one again. I'm just good. So, that has worked counterproductive for me because sometimes I end up finding out that the guy is not giving you the same energy and you feel really betrayed, you feel sad. But like with my husband, it was just cool. So everything progressed naturally. He just naturally stood out. He was just the one. So I would advise you that if you're someone that is like me that doesn't know how to, don't see it as, oh, it's not like you're sleeping with them or something. Do you get so? But just be friends with everybody. So already imagining one guy to be your husband before it's actually official. Do you get? Just be cool, be friends with everybody, be open to still meeting people, even when you've seen somebody that you like. Still be open because you never know. And there's something about desperation. Desperation turns even the person that is meant to be for you away from you. You need to be cool. You need to show that, you know what, with you, without you, I'm good. This next lesson, open your ears and hear it. When you're ready to marry, stop being juvenile. Stop dating that guy that you should have dated in your year two. Date a husband material. Date somebody that you can see yourself with. And I'm talking when you reach 21, 22, especially if you want to get married early, let's say 25, 26, 27, because dating, engagement, everything like that takes time. So you don't want to be wasting your time with somebody that you know you can never marry. Stop dating just because you just want to make sure you tell everybody that you have a boyfriend. It's actually better for you to be single because if you're single, at least when the person that you are praying to God for comes, he won't find you entangled with the wrong guy. Stop letting your boyfriend stop you from meeting your husband. You get? Try and date husband material or try and be single. In your single time, you can, get healed, get whole, travel, do so many things with yourself. There's so many fun things you can do with yourself. You don't need to actually always be in a relationship. That can actually hinder you from dating your husband. And when you choose to be in a relationship, date somebody that you can see yourself with. I'm not trying to tell you that every single person you date now till you get married will be your husband. No. But I'm just trying to say that increase your prospect by not even considering somebody that you know you should and can never end up with. This next thing, you need to stick to your standard. Guys, you see the story I told you. If I had just said, oh, you know what, yeah, I really like this guy, so I'm just going to throw away all my standards. First of all, you would end up being with the wrong person because you're going to be with someone that is not worthy of you. If someone is worthy of you, the person is going to have the same values and standards that you have. Or even if the person initially didn't define that as a standard, that person is going to pattern up because you're worth it. that person needs to be worthy of you. So have your standards and stick with it. Don't think that your standard is going to make guys stay away from you. Your standard is going to actually bring the person God has for you. I believe that sometimes you don't even need to hear a voice from heaven say, oh, that is your husband. Sometimes just have standards, right? Just have standards, and to weed away all the people that are not meant for you and actually bring you closer to the man of your dreams. Do not drop your standard for any man or woman. This next one was something that I actually applied in my relationship with my husband, and that was friendship. My husband and I are G's. Like, we built such a strong friendship. We actually had a 5 months layover before we actually started officially dating. And one thing that we had was friendship. Even up to now, it's something that is making our marriage fun. See, guys, my husband and I don't need any extracurricular activity. We are good all by ourselves. We entertain each other. Like, it's so fun being with my best friend. So I know that it's not everybody's story that you would have 5 months, of being friends before you end up dating. But I believe that even though you start off romantically, you can intentionally build a friendship, because actually, what you're going to be doing in marriage, apart from the two things that you guys already know, is friendship that you'll be doing. You'll be talking a lot. There's nothing else. So imagine if you actually don't like the person you're dating. Imagine if you guys can't gist. Like, imagine if you're scared. Imagine if there's something you can't tell the person you're going to be sharing a bed with, spending the rest of your life with. You need to be friends. And I have this rule of thumb. I actually don't believe people need to date for a very long time, but I believe that you should be friends first. There should be a solid friendship before you start dating. Or, as I said, you can build one. It's never too late to build one. You need to build one by talking a lot, communicating a lot, gisting a lot, sending a lot of memes on social media, just getting to know each other. Honestly, it has really worked. And anybody that has a thriving marriage will tell you that friendship is the core of it. This next one, ladies, open your ear. A man that knows. You're not going to have to second guess yourself with a guy when he likes you. You're not going to be asking yourself, oh, he did this, but he didn't do this. Does he really like me? No, guys are quite simple. They are plain, they are straightforward. Once they like you, like, that's about that. They're not going to beat around the bush. They're not going to try to play games. Like, it's going to be so glaring. You, your mother, your father, your grandma will know that this guy likes you. I told you guys that me and my husband started dating in June. By October, his parents had already met mine. Like, it was pretty straightforward. I didn't have to second guess his love or his likeness for me. So I believe that you don't need to. The moment you start doubting, does this guy really like me? The truth is that he doesn't. Do you get? Guys are really plain. They are simple. So it will really save you a lot of time. You don't need to actually manipulate or force a guy to like you. Guys are internally motivated. Sometimes they can't even explain to you why they like you. They just do. Do you understand? So what you're going to do is to pray to God to send you your person, and just remain, keep your standard, as I said, and the person that's for you would pattern up. The last thing that I want you to take away from this video is that you need to pray a lot. I keep referencing this video, but you need to go and check out that my video where I said that the man I dated for 2 years was not my husband, because God told me that. And when I had that experience, I told God that when it's my husband, make him stand out to me. Make it so obvious that it's him, and give me ease. I don't want so much drama. I don't want toxicity. I just want you to just highlight him to me, and I want it to work out. So I prayed a lot. I prayed so much. Like, I prayed to God to highlight him to me, to show him that I am the one. So I didn't even have to overdo anything. I was just cool, and then it happened. And this is very important. You need to stop canceling your prayers with your words. A lot of girls, if you are being very honest, you do want to get married, but you pray to God that God send me the person for me. But you cancel that prayers by saying all men are scum. Oh, there are no good men out there. All men are cheaters. Like, sometimes I just want to slap your mouth. Like, are you crazy? You need to stop canceling your prayers with your words, and you need to pray about what you really want. And you need to confidently tell people, yes, I would like to get married, and I'd like to get married to a good guy. And I hope that this story inspires you. I hope that it's able to show you that, yes, what you want for yourself is possible. And yeah, I hope you learned a thing or two and enjoyed my love story.
Please permit me to take 10 seconds of your time. If you love the value offered so far in this video, please do me the greatest favor. Please join the 15% of viewers that are currently subscribed to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. It helps us tremendously to send this positive message to the rest of the world.